Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lili and Friends. Today, my guest is Julie. I met her through a post on an app, like a neighborhood app. She has a business that she makes dog bones as a treat. So she has training sizes and she has big sizes, and they're all good. They're very healthy. They are completely organic, and she's going to talk about that and some more because she also has a daughter. So we're going to see what she has to say. I'm excited. How are you?
Hi, yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, so because of your business, so it's called Barks for Bones, and it's on Instagram for now.
Yeah.
And you guys can order from her on Instagram on her account. So just, you know, follow her on Instagram, and then if you want to have those bones, and they're delicious. The dogs love it. As you guys know, I'm a dog trainer, so I've been giving them all of the bones, and I'm almost out, just so you know. So I might be ordering some soon. And
Okay.
yeah, and
Okay.
they love it. So it's amazing. And so guys can order from there. How did that? How did you started this business? How did everything started basically?
Um, well, a couple of reasons I started it was, so the first one is because of the pandemic, I couldn't find dog bones anywhere. It was like they just vanished from shelves. So just trying to think of an alternative, and we had just taken our dog to the vet. And he's a golden doodle, and so he's pretty big. But they were like, yeah, he's overweight by 10 pounds. So stop giving him treats, or if you want to give him treats, make your own. So
Right.
that you know what goes in it, and there's no like hidden ingredients. So I thought, okay, well, that's a pretty good idea. So, I'm always in the kitchen cooking. So I thought, okay, why not cook for the dog? So I started making some simple milk bones for him, and he totally loved it. And, I found that I can make them all types of sizes. I make them from training size, which is just to quickly reward him if he's doing something good, especially with the baby, to, small, medium, or large. And so depending on what he's done, then I give him the size according to what he's done, I guess. And so then my sister came. She lives in Spokane, and so she came with her dog, and she's like, these are really good. Her dog loves them. So she's like, why don't you start selling them? So I thought, well, I don't know. Okay, I guess we'll see how it goes. And it's actually taken off, and it's been great. I get to meet a lot of people and a lot of dogs, and experiment new flavors. And then for my Orange County clients, I am able to deliver them right to their porch, and for free. And it's been going really good. So anyways, that's why I started making my own dog bones.
That's really good. And when did you started like actually making them? Was it this year, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah. No, it was this year. So it was right before summer. And, but I didn't start selling and promoting my business until I want to say like beginning of July. So it's kind of new, but I'm just shocked that every day people are emailing me or messaging me through Instagram, or I also have an Etsy store. And then I post on Nextdoor, and I'm just getting hit from all over the place. So it's really good.
Yeah, and that's how I found you actually. I found you
Yeah.
on the Nextdoor
On
app, and I
Nextdoor
was
app.
like,
Yeah.
maybe I can do some business with her. And then it came to like it's funny because we live just, down the street from each other basically.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because I don't even have to, waste some gas on going here or there. I mean, I was lazy the day that I met you, so I just took the car. But that's out of laziness, not out of like, because I have to go to a store, And
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's fascinating how the dogs love it, even though it's like milk bone flavor, and another one is the blueberry oatmeal. They still like in the
Blueberry. Yeah.
yeah, the first time that they smell it, they're like, not quite sure. But then they taste it and they're like, oh
Yeah.
my God. Like it's really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I make them fresh, and they're just fresh to order. So if you order them, I'll make them right then and there, and then I'll deliver them the next day. So they're fresh, but yeah, they're crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside, and I'm getting a lot of good feedback. So we're
Yeah.
going to keep it going.
Yeah, please keep on doing it, because I'm also telling my clients to buy it from you, and I have a couple of people already told me that they're actually going to order from you because they feel bad giving their dogs like those bones that they buy at the stores, and then they're full of sugar or full of stuff that we don't even know what it's in it.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, you want to keep your dogs healthy because you don't want to go and spend money on the vets. Or not that we don't like vets, but you know, if we can keep our money for ourselves, it's better that way.
Totally.
And even my dog loves it. He loves those bones. It's amazing how he just is like, oh, I love this. I opened the package and he's like, ooh, there it comes. There it comes. So I'm really
That's always nice to hear.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we got to meet each other, and I'm glad that you're doing this, and please keep on doing it. And so you mentioned you have a girl, and she is how old now?
She is going to be 2 in 2 weeks. So
oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, and we are definitely like full on into the terrible twos. It's quite the adventure.
Yeah, I mean that as well, because mine is 2 years and it's going to be 3 months in a couple of weeks as well too. So
okay,
yeah, so
yeah, so you know what I mean.
Correct, exactly. It's the craziness, the tantrums, the no.
No is a favorite word, but if sometimes I get a yes, and it's like, holy crap, let me record this because I got a yes.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. That's a good thing, yeah. But so you were telling me in the beginning before we started recording that you we're going to talk about your daughter a little bit more, but I'm just to start out, like, as your background, you said that you were born and raised in France, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So born and raised in France. My mom is full French and my dad is full Spanish, and they met in high school. And so grew up there. And then my grandma actually moved to the state in 90. And so we followed quickly after. My parents got divorced in 93, and my mom decided to move to America. And we were actually here on vacation while my mom was deciding if we were going to move or not. And my grandparents were getting their locks changed. And my grandma is very nosy and likes to talk to a lot of people. And so she asked the guy, you know, hey, are you married? I got a daughter. And so he's like, okay, I mean, I'm getting a divorce. She's like, good enough. Come over for dinner. And so he came over for dinner, and a couple weeks later, he told my mom, just move here. I'll take care of the kids and you never have to work. And so a month later, we moved here, and he raised us, and they're still together. It's 25 years later. And,
wow.
And yeah, so coming to America.
That's amazing. How old were you when you moved here?
I was 7.
Okay.
7. So I was first grade, and my parents.
Yeah. Do you know French at all or no?
Oh, yeah. I only speak to my daughter in French, and she only speaks French right now. So it's funny because when she talks to her dad, she talks to him in French, and instead of speaking to her in English, he responds to her in French, even though he's American, but he's been picking it up. And so we only speak French basically in our house.
That's really good, because, you know, she's going to get English no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same, kind of the same concept here in my house, because I'm Portuguese. I'm from Portugal, and we talk to our son in Portuguese most of the time, but because he's also in daycare, you know, we tend to mix up both languages and tell him both sides of the language when we're talking to him, because I don't want him to feel, oh my God, it probably was him. I don't want him to feel frustrated when he wants to ask for, milk or
Yeah.
whatever it is. And then the daycare woman be like, I don't know what you mean, because she only speak Portuguese. So,
Yeah.
but we do have the same concept, like both languages is a plus, obviously. And at this age, and babies and kids, they pick up on stuff so much quicker, especially,
Definitely. They're sponges.
yes, language wise, it's the best. And I struggled because I only I barely speak English for 8 years now. It's crazy.
Whoa.
So I moved out of Portugal because my husband went to Germany. Well, he was my boyfriend at the time, but basically he moved to Germany for a job. And then a year later, I joined him because I was still finishing school. And then I couldn't speak any language rather than Portuguese, even though we have English at school and French, because France
Okay.
is right, not right
Right
next
there.
to it, but
Yeah.
it's our
Close
neighbor.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but French for me was a disaster. I could not pick up on French whatsoever. There was a couple, there's a couple of words that I can relate and I understand what you're saying, but I cannot have a conversation. But in Spanish, I can a little bit. And then when I moved to Germany, I tried to learn German, and I was like, oh God, no, this is too hard. I cannot, like this. They have words like big words, like in
Yeah.
15 characters on one letter, on one word, I mean. So I'm like, no, I can't. And so my husband was like, I would suggest you learn English because we might move out. I'm not planning to stay in Germany forever. And my goal is to get to America. And so you should learn English. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I pretty much taught myself how to learn how to speak English. And then because I had people outside my house that would only speak either French or Russian or other languages rather than Portuguese, I was forced to kind of speak English and just, start doing that. And then I started working as a babysitter with a family that the mom was French, the dad was German, the kids would speak Spanish. And I was like, okay, this is too much. So I would speak Spanish with the kids, Portuguese with the baby, and English with the mom and dad. And so
Whoa.
it was hard times, but it forced me to actually get moving with English. And then we came here in 2012, and I just took it from there. So for me right now, I don't have a mother language, even though my default goes to Portuguese, but
Yeah.
I can speak both. I still struggle sometimes with English, but I wasn't born here, or I didn't move here when I was young. I moved here when I was,
Yeah.
big. I was a big ass woman. But anyway, so let's talk about our kids. So she's about to be 2. I was your like, how did you imagine to become a mom before you were even pregnant, or when you were pregnant?
Oh man. I saw my mom do it with 3 kids, and I thought, this piece of cake, man, I could have a baby. And I always thought that I would be a younger mom than what I am now. But we just tried for a really long time and just couldn't. And then I was like, okay, doctors kept saying, you got to relax. I'm like, I can't relax. I'm like a tense person. And so I was like, but we're just going to be the greatest parents. I know it. And it's going to be a piece of cake. And totally not what happened. But, you take that pregnancy test and you're so excited and you're going to see the heartbeat. And we just kept losing babies. And finally, I just had this, like, I need a miracle. Like, I can't keep going through this. But then we were finally pregnant with our daughter, and I was really like careful, try not to do too much, because I tend to not, I'm all over the place and I like to keep busy. So just learning to like slow down And then she finally came, and we were so excited, and I had already signed her up for daycare, and I was planning on going back to work, and I just took one look at her. I was like, there's no way I'm leaving this baby with anybody but me. I love her too much. And the first month it was like so easy. Being a mom was so easy, so many naps. But it's definitely a lot harder than what it looks like. And I'm glad that I'm an older mom. I'm not that old, but older than what I thought. I was going to be 24 when I had my first one, but it ended up that I was 31. And so, but I'm glad that I'm older, and she definitely tests my patience. And so that's a little hard for me. Just, sometimes I have to take a step back and just feel like, okay, she's only 1.5, or she's only, she's going to be 2, like, chill out. So it's definitely a learning period, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And she's starting to play with dolls now, and we change the doll's diaper, and we take the doll for a walk.
Aww.
And so I told my husband, I think she's ready for like a sibling.
Yeah.
So we will see. We will see, because it's just been a lot more heartbreak than happiness, but she does bring us a lot of happiness. And so we hopefully will give her a sibling one day.
Yeah. I mean, when you go through that stuff, it didn't happen to me, so I can't talk about that. But basically, when you go through that heartbreaking part, I'm sure it's like you don't want to risk it again just because you don't want to go through that again, right? And you already have a beautiful daughter, I'm sure. I haven't seen her yet, but I'm sure she's beautiful, and she's full of life, that you just want to be like, yeah, I could do it again, but it's hard. But I'm glad you guys got pregnant, and she's good, and she's full of life and keeping alive and on your last nerve. And it happens to me too, because you see this little thing that comes out of you, and then in a couple of years, or a couple of years, actually 2 years, they become their own person, and you just like, oh my God, how did this happen? Right? It goes by so fast. And not only that, but like, because you're seeing this big person, and they're walking and they're talking and they do stuff on their own, your mentality is just like, oh, you're a kid. So why are you doing this dumb shit?
Yeah, seriously. Yes.
And then you realize, okay, they're only 2. Okay, I can't be that mad,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it always amazes me, her, it's like new words every day, new crazy nonsense that she's doing, like jumping in her bed, which I'm like, you're not a monkey, stop. And she's like, no, 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 tells me no. So she knows she's not supposed to do it, but she does it anyways. And yeah, it's cute. I love being a girl mom, and my husband wants a boy, and I'm like, but we're girl parents. A boy, nobody in our family has boys. It's all girls. My brother is the only boy. We're 12 cousins, and he's the only boy. And the girls keep having girls. And so I'm like, a boy, I wouldn't know what to do with a boy.
I gotta tell you from experience, boys are easier than girls.
Really?
Yes, that's what I find. Yeah.
I would feel like they'd be more energetic, which she's super high energy. So I don't know. I think of my brother, and we're 10 years apart, so he's 10 years younger than me. So I've seen him, and
we have pretty much the same story. Sorry. My sister is 10 years younger than me.
Oh yeah. So you see her, you raise her, you're like a second mommy, really.
Yes.
And you're all, hell no, I can't do it.
But because because we have that age gap, right? I was
Yeah.
able to see a girl growing up, and my sister is not, and still is not easy, man.
Oh, okay.
No, she's 21 years old, and she's still not easy. My parents go through a lot with her still. And if she listens to this podcast, I don't care if she gets mad. This is the truth, you know? And she knows she's a handful. She knows. She
Okay.
tells
At
me
least
all
she
the
knows
time.
it.
Oh yeah, she knows. And she likes to be a handful because she likes to give people hard times. I'm like, man, come on, just quit it. Just quit it. But you know, so before I became a doctor and everything, I was babysitting and I was a toddler teacher, and you know, I had lots of kids around me, obviously, and I always found the boys easier to deal with as in young age rather than the girls, because the girls are full of energy, they do tantrums all the time, they learn quicker, they learn faster, and boys are I'm not saying that boys are dumb, but they don't develop as quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think like they're more mellow at some times. Now my son, he has a lot of energy as well. But if I tell him, hey, you need to stop this behavior, this is not okay, you're going to hurt yourself, he looks at me funny, but then he's like, maybe I should stop, you know?
Oh,
Which
you're
with,
lucky.
yeah, which with girls, sometimes that doesn't happen. But I could be wrong. Don't take my word for that.
No, you're correct. I mean, I'll tell her stop. It should be like, nope, and keep on going. I'm like, stop, no. And I have to at least tell her like 5 times. I'll go 5 times in a calm voice. And then by the 6th time, I'm like, I said stop. And then she stops. But it's like, I have to get to that 6th time and yell. And then she's like, oh, okay, she's serious.
Yeah. Like she's actually mad at me.
Yeah. And if dad's home, she'll be like, Papa, Papa. And he's like, what happened? I'm like, stop coddling her.
Yeah.
So
that's the problem. So I always have to tell my husband, like, say no. And he's like, but what? Say no. Just say no. It's okay. And then he's like,
yeah.
What? And I'm like, he wants this again. And he's like, no, we talked about it. You know, if mom says no, it's no. And okay, whatever. So it's funny because they know if one says no, the other one might say yes. So let's just, you know.
Yeah, definitely. They already know to play us against each other for sure.
Very funny. So how was your life and with her as well before COVID hit? Because I think it's very important to go back in time and kind of remember this shall pass and we'll probably go back to normal. Maybe not now, maybe not next year, but you know, eventually we will, I'm hoping, because I don't want to deal with masks every day of my life or my entire life, right? But how was your life before COVID hit? What would you do with her and stuff like that? Excuse me.
Man, seems like such a long time ago.
I know.
I mean, we were never home. Like I always had a play date, a lunch with a girlfriend, and you know, her and I would go shopping. She's a great shopping buddy. And so, you know, whether it's like we're going to the grocery store, like she's super chill when we're out. And so, you know, we go to the grocery store and Marshall's and run all over the place. And then I wasn't too sure when COVID first hit. I was like, well, it sounds like just the flu. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And then they were like, nope, we're on lockdown. I was like, holy mother, what are we going to do? Like I stuck at home. And, you know, then it was like, well, you know, my mom's like, well, I'm still going to go to the grocery store. And I was totally freaked out at that point. I was like, well, you can't come over. And so my mom was grocery shopping for us, and I didn't leave the house for 2 months. And my mom would drop off groceries for us at the front door, and it would be like we're crying through the window, and it was god awful. And then I was like, okay, what, you know, you're my parents. I think we should still see each other and stuff. So anyway, so it was like a big family reunion. It was very emotional, you know, because it was like, oh, Adeline's gonna forget me. And I'm like, she's not gonna forget you, Mom. Like, you're her grandma, and we FaceTime all the time, and like 10 times a day, every single day. So, so it's been an adjustment, but I actually like it, and I like staying home. And, you know, we play in the backyard, and we go for walks, and we do have like our little circle of people that we do see, or actually it's just one friend who has a 2-year-old son, and so we see each other every week and go and have play dates. They come here, we go there, we switch off. So, but we didn't see them for, you know, almost 4 months, and so it's been an adjustment, and but our life was constantly running around and shopping, and so my husband's happy because at least I'm not shopping anymore.
It's so funny you saying that, because my husband was just telling me like, man, we have saved so much money now because we're just home. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm not an expensive one. Like, I hate shopping. I hate going for even grocery shopping. I don't like it. I love Instacart. Like, I'm so happy Instacart. Yeah, I know. I'm so happy that Instacart exists, because I'm like, yay, I don't have to go shopping. Yay, you know?
Yeah, because if you don't see it, you don't think about it, and then you're not buying it. That's like, you know, he's like, are you going to go to Walmart? I'm like, I haven't been to Walmart in 4 months, and I don't plan on going because I just buy everything when I'm there. So
yeah. The only the only like store that I go to sometimes, and it's kind of rare, is the Dollar Tree down the street. Because sometimes, you know, I need some stuff for like, you know, my son, like some toys or so. I don't like to give him like expensive stuff because he might break, although he's very good with his toys, but still, I don't want to deal with that. And then so for dog stuff as well, sometimes I go there because they have cheap stuff. And unless I need something specific for the training, right? Then I'll go to PetSmart or Petco, and then I get it from there, or like pet shops. But rather than that, I don't go shopping, and I love it that you just order online, and the groceries get dropped off at your front door, and you're good, and you just put them in the fridge. We're all set for a week, you know. And I love that. I just love it.
That's nice. Yeah. See, my mom took Adeline this morning. I was like, I'm gonna go to the grocery store for like the first time in 3 weeks, and it's gonna be nice. Like, that was my outing today.
And sometimes that's all you need, you know. And since this lockdown happened, I was the same thing. So I already said this on the podcast before, but basically I'm a very sociable person. I love being around people. I love hugging people and, you know, being very warm with people. And it's really hard for me to see my friends and not be able to hug them, or even my clients. Sometimes if the session goes really well, at the end, I would love to hug them, but I can't. So I the first couple of weeks, the first 2 weeks, I was like, this is fine, but that is home. It's going to be fun because we get to have meals together. We get to play together. We get to do stuff together, go for walks, go to the park, blah, blah, blah. And then they closed the park between you and me. So it's kind of like, it was hard. But then, you know, we did walks around the block. And so we were having fun. And then the third week happened. And I kid you not, I got a bit depressed. I went in a really depressed phase of my life that I've never been before. Because again, it hit me really hard of like, you cannot see friends. You cannot, you know, be outside without a mask and stuff like that. So it was really, really hard for me. Now I do have the same thing as you. So I have a couple of friends that we do hang out with. One of them, she actually has her daughter in the same daycare as my son, and he goes to daycare 3 mornings a week. And I trust that daycare because it's a home daycare, so it's a small thing, and everybody's very good on keeping everybody safe. And the other one, she's one of my best friends. She's from Brazil. She did a podcast with me the other day, and Juliana, and she basically we see each other every week as well. And we also are very aware of what we do from my side and her side, meaning that I'm seeing
Yeah.
clients. She knows I'm seeing clients. I always wear a mask, sanitize myself before I even enter my car. I sanitize my hands before I take my mask and before I put on my mask. So I'm very careful with that stuff. And so far, nothing happened. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep on doing this. And I'm being very, very careful because again, I have those people that I need to keep in mind that not only us are being affected, but other people as well.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it's protecting yourself and protecting those around you and just taking like the precautionary measures. And so I think that's if everybody does that, then we'd see the numbers go down a little bit. But
Exactly. I
who
heard that
knows?
today, I guess, our state is no longer like a lookup for the infections to go up. So it's
Okay.
really stabilizing now. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll get to see something better coming soon.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we were planning to go to Portugal in May because my son turned 2 and my husband has the same month birthday, and he turned 35. So we were going to do this huge party with all our family because our family is all out there.
Yeah.
So we thought, I was planning that. So I got a place for everybody to have like a huge venue for everybody and just plan their birthdays together. And then obviously we went in a lockdown in March and everything went down the drain. So we haven't been home in more than a year. So, it's been a while. And so we're planning that if everything goes good and the winter comes and the numbers are not going up or anything like that, we might go home for Christmas.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
Who knows?
It,
Yeah.
it,
We were in the same boat. We were supposed to leave this past Tuesday and go to France for 2 weeks. See family, see my friends. Everything was booked. We rented a nice beach house and then the airline was like, nope, you're not going anywhere. So we're looking to go maybe next May. So we'll see. We'll see. But Europe is closed, so they're not letting any Americans in.
I know, exactly. That's the problem. So
Yeah.
I heard that if you have like a European passport, you can go because like you're returning home, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And we do have that. So that's a good thing on our side. I don't know if you have that as well. Do you have a French passport?
I do, but my husband doesn't. So unless he would be like, okay, you're okay to go by yourself, but I highly doubt it. And then my daughter, I was about to get her passport, her French passport, and then the embassy closed. So I'm just kind of waiting for stuff to open back up.
Yeah, I heard that you can do that online. Like you don't even have to go to the embassy or anything like that. I heard that the French government is very good on doing everything online. So try again, maybe, I don't know. And
Hmm.
if you're married to, obviously you're married to your husband, but if you guys are married, you know, he can also get citizenship in France because he's
Yes.
married to you. So, I mean,
Yes, that is the next step. Actually, we were talking about that earlier this year about doing that because we're like, well, when we retire, it'd be nice to go, which is so far down the line. But we're planners, and so we were thinking, it'd be nice to have a home and kind of go back home. You know how, well, a lot of people, 6 months here, 6 months in your home country. So we were like, we could totally do that, and then everything went on lockdown. So
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see.
right. That's somewhat our plan as well, having a
Yeah.
house in Portugal, maybe in the south of it because the weather's better.
Yeah.
And, and then just going back and forth, back and forth. My godmother actually does that. She has a house in France and she has one in Portugal. And so she goes back and forth. When the weather is better in Portugal, she goes to Portugal. When the weather is better in
Yeah.
France, she goes to France. So she goes
Yeah.
back and forth. And she loves the doctors in France. And she has kind of like, she has a lot of problems with her health. That's what I heard from my parents because she kind of, I have a real relationship with my family. Let's just get that out of the way. Okay. Let's just say that. But basically my dad tells me that she has quite of a few problems with her health, and so she feels more comfortable being in France to deal with her health problems rather than in Portugal. And I'm like, hey
Okay.
man, fair enough, do what you got to do to be healthy.
Yeah.
Which is
It's nice to
fair.
have those options.
Exactly. So, and anytime she has to go to the doctor, she goes to France, and then she spends time in there, and then she goes back to Portugal. So she goes back and forth. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Try again and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. And what about your doggy? Does he stay with when you go home? Does he stay with someone or?
So he does stay with someone. I'm looking for someone new though, because she's down in San Clemente, and that's 25 minutes south when we got to go north to the airport.
Mm,
So he goes there, and she takes good care of him. She sends us pictures, and he seems to like it because he runs right into her house. So I think he likes it and doesn't have a problem. But we are looking for somebody closer in Aliso, maybe. But so if you know anybody, I'm always looking for somebody else.
yeah, I mean, whenever you need him to be, on a vacation, let me know. I might have someone that can take
Okay.
care of him. Yeah. I would offer my house, but I have a condo, so I don't have space for him,
Yeah, he's big. He is big.
He's
So,
a
but
big
although
boy.
he doesn't take up a lot of space, believe it or not, he's a total couch potato. So ever
Oh.
since we had the baby, like I told you, he's really mellowed out, and he just likes to hang out on the couch.
Yeah.
So
How was that? Because you had the dog before you had the kid, right? So
yeah,
how
so
was,
it was
yeah.
definitely a transition period for him, right? Because he was our baby, and I took him to doggy daycare every single day. I would take him everywhere. I'm like that person that goes to Home Depot and he comes with me, or Marshall's and he comes with me. And
Fair enough.
yeah, he was really our baby, and he sleeps on our bed. He sleeps with us every night. And so then he knew that I was pregnant. He was really gentle, and he became super protective of me, like when we would go for walks. Nobody could get near me. He would like growl and show teeth if somebody did. And then after we had the baby, he, checked her out. And then I think he was like, okay, when is this thing leaving? Because I'm the baby. And he just didn't want anything to do with her. He wanted nothing to do with her. It was like she didn't exist to him. And so her first word was mama, thank God. But
Oh.
her second word was Sawyer.
Oh.
So she loves him. She is always hugging him, and she loves taking him for walks. And I think he now loves her because she feeds him. So she always feeds him what's in her plate. It's one bite for her, one bite for Sawyer, one bite for her, one bite for Sawyer. And he loves it. And she's always asking to give him treats. So, because she'll take a treat and then she'll run around the house, and he chases her, and she loves that. And, but he sleeps with her now. Which he did not do before, but he sleeps only in her bedroom. And, I'm terrible. She sleeps with us also, but and so when she comes into our bed, he comes into our bed too. So it's a whole camping ground in our bed.
Yeah.
Everybody's there. But yeah, he's really good with her. So he lets her climb on him, and she sits on him and rides him like a pony, and they get along good. They play together. They'll entertain each other for the most part of the day, which is great.
Yeah, so it's funny you're saying that because, golden retrievers, and he's a golden doodle, so he's golden with poodle. Golden retrievers are known for being very friendly and loving kids, right? Labs
Yeah.
too, but more golden.
Yeah.
Golden retrievers, and that's probably where he gets it from. That part of like being very nice to her, letting her do whatever she wants to do to him, and sleeping with her and
Yeah.
stuff. That's so good to see, because I also have a dog, but he's not like that at all. Not at all. He's a Papillon Chihuahua.
Okay.
So, Papillons are known to be a little bit crazy and very scary dogs. Not scary, scared. I'm sorry, scared dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And Chihuahuas too. So he has a mix of both. And so I'm like, you're a handful now. Like when I started my dog business, I'm like, I did not see this before because I had dogs my whole life, but you only know so much, right? So when I started my course and I'm like seeing all the behaviors that he does and stuff like that, I was like, ooh, okay, I have a handful of training here to do with you. He's much better. He never bit anybody. He's very friendly with everybody. But when I was pregnant, he was very gentle as well. It was never protective of me, nothing like that. But he was, gentle with the belly. And then when my son came home, we did the whole ritual thing of like showing him clothing and, let him smell the clothing that has been in the baby, showing the baby like very small bites of it. Like, okay, you can smell the feet. Now you can smell the leg, And then he was excited, like, okay, a buddy to play with. I was like, oh, no, you don't get to play with him. Not right now. And then a couple of days went by, and I remember as if he was today. So we got home on a Thursday. On Sunday of the same week, he jumped into our bed and he started like saying that he hurt his paw. So he was like whimpering and crying, like, and we're like, oh my God, what the heck happened? So he was even limping. Okay. And I was like,
dramatic.
Yes. So I was like, I told my husband, you have to take him to the vet. And he was like, God damn it, everything is closed because it's Sunday, it's a holiday. And I'm like, I don't care. Figure it out. I'll stay with the baby, take the dog to the vet, and see what they say. So I kid you not, guys. He went from home until the vet. He was crying, okay, the whole time. We went to the car. My husband picked him up. He was crying the whole time. Then he got to the vet and stopped. He just completely stopped crying, completely stopped doing anything. And my husband explained, so the leg was this one, and I tried to put my hand on it. He didn't want my hand on it, so he even tried to bite my husband because he didn't want him to touch him. So she started pulling his legs, to see if anything was broken. Not a peep, nothing came out of his mouth.
Oh, geez.
He came home from the vet. She gave him painkillers just in case. Came home from the vet, totally fine. And we gave him one painkiller, only once, because we're not sure if he actually hurt himself or if he was faking. He was totally faking, guys. Totally faking. Can you imagine this? He was totally faking. Man, I was like, you are such a stinker because you can fake pain to make us worried, because we're giving attention to the baby and not to you.
Yeah, he wanted it back on him. That is so funny. Dogs are so smart. It always amazes me.
Yeah, and now he's 8 years old. And if my son is the same thing, if my son has a treat in his hands, he will chase him around the house. He will even do stuff for him because my son sees me doing the training with him. He always says, he always calls him, he goes, Bolt, sit down, good boy. He does that, and it's hilarious. And then he likes him because he has food. But as soon as my son has a toy and comes nearby him, he growls and he's showing his teeth like, don't, because my son hurt him a couple of times already.
Okay.
That's why. And I'm trying to desensitize the dog. I'll be like, no, it's okay. Toys are not for you to be hurt. It's just for him to play. But dogs can understand so much as well, right? So I'm telling my son, like, hey, be nice to him, and now he pets him nicely, gives him kisses and stuff, but we're not to the point that he can climb on top of him or anything like that. But I mean, the dog is smaller than my son, so it's not like he can he can climb on him. But I love that, I love that you share that, because it's such a good thing that the dog and the kid are already bonding.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We were shocked because, like I said, at first he just didn't want anything to do with her, and he was like annoyed by her, and now he just secretly loves her.
Yeah, she got his heart. He's like, oh,
I think so. But it's funny because, like, my mom she'll take her, once, maybe twice a month, and he's like lost. He doesn't know where to go sleep. He's like bored and doesn't know what to do with himself. So it's funny. But yeah, as soon as she comes home, he's super excited. So it's nice.
No, it's really nice to see, and it's normal that he feels lost, because dogs are such a routine creatures, that they
Yeah.
when the routine breaks, they freak out. That's why a lot of people ask me, like, what do I do if I have to go back to work now because everybody's home, right? So the dogs may have some separation anxiety, which will happen. I'm sure it will happen to a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
And so I tell them what to do, and like, hopefully this will help, because again, they're a routine creature, so you have to make sure that you keep your routine as is. But if there's going to be a break in it, and it in like a couple of months, then start now and just start slowly, because otherwise they're going to just be lost and don't know what to do with themselves, right?
Yeah.
Luckily, my husband can take our dog to work.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so he was going to work every single day, and if my husband happened to not take him once or twice, he will actually get pissed and do stuff in the house, like pee or poop, and to just to piss us off. Like, he didn't have to do that, just to piss us off. And so now that he's home working, he's like, oh, I don't have to go. So, he's here, everybody's here, and he's so much happier because everybody's home and he gets the attention from everybody in the house.
Yeah.
But sometimes we do live, like, we go to the pool. Our pool is open finally. So we go to the pool, and we leave the dog home, obviously, and there's no complaints of the neighbors saying that he barks or anything like that. So he's totally fine just being by himself. But again, he's 8 years old, so all he wants to do is to sleep and eat and go out for a walk. And we provide him that, so he's as happy as he can be. He's content,
yeah.
Oh man, but it's just, I think this times it's hard for everybody. But I did a podcast also yesterday, and we're talking about the COVID and stuff like that. But I think, like, I don't know if you're gonna agree with me, but I think that us being home with our kids taught us that we have to make sure we live in the present, and that we don't worry too much about too much stuff, because this is all we have, right? This is it. It's our family. It's our little bubbles, and whoever can be inside our bubble, it's great. But ultimately, us, that's what matters, And so I think that, having a dog that initially was like, didn't want anything to do with the baby, and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be a disaster because they're not going to be friends. And then now, like, almost years later, is sleeping with her. He loves her to death. He doesn't know what to do if she's not home. And it's amazing to see, like, the bonding between everybody, right?
Yeah. I've actually enjoyed it. I enjoy staying home, and it's been nice for our family. Like, we're just not always on the go. It's like, we're chill out and hang out in the backyard, and it's a lot of family time, which is great. I see my in-laws a lot more, and my family, I see them all the time, but it's nice. And she's actually better now that we're like not always on the go. You know, I don't take her anywhere ever except for, you know, go to my parents' house, or she goes and sees my in-laws, her grandma on the other side, and but we're not constantly going. It's just we're super routine, and it's actually, I think, been better for her.
Yeah, and I think kids need that as well. They need also a routine and be a strategic, not a strategic, but like a routine based as well, because they love that structure. That's what I was the word
Yeah.
I was looking for.
Yeah.
So they need a structure in their lives because they're lost. They don't know what to do. They're just observing everything. And then if you don't kind of stop them and be like, no, listen, this is what we're going to do now. It's time for this.
Right.
They don't know when to stop and what to do. So I think it's very important to do a routine for sure since day one, you know, like obviously
Oh yeah.
day one. I don't mean like as soon as they come out of you, but I mean, you know, when you feel like, okay, now it's time for you to actually sleep train and go over all that stuff. And yeah, did you had any like issues with sleeping or
Oh
like
God.
latching or stuff like that?
So I didn't breastfeed. I was very adamant that I would not breastfeed, and my husband was kind of upset. He was like, but it's our baby and you need to. And I was like, I just can't, like, in France, just people just don't do that, you know, or not that many people do it. And, you know, because your body got hit by a bus 6 times, and you know, you kind of need to recover and then adjust to a new life. So anyway, so I was like, I just can't. I know myself and I can't. So I bottle fed her. But she has not slept a full night yet. So I did try the sleep training because I was desperate at one point, and it was chaotic. It was such chaos, and I didn't have the willpower to keep doing it, you know, because you're just at the point of exhaustion. So since, you know, I had the bassinet next to the bed, and a lot of time, this is so terrible, but I would fall asleep holding her. But, you know, so I slept sitting for weeks, and finally I was like, okay, maybe if I put her in my body pillow, like surrounded, then she's safe. It's a safe area. And so maybe I could lay down next to her. And I did that. And she's never been out of our bed since then. But I do and I still rock her to sleep. And it takes me over an hour, which is terrible. But I feel like it's my time with her. It's my one-on-one time. It's our quiet time, you know, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And she likes it. You know, she just plays with my hair, and hair just is like her soothing thing. So it's like just mine and her time. And you know, since I didn't breastfeed, that's like my connection with her. But so I do rock her to sleep still, and then I do put her down in her bed, and she usually stays there till about like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then you hear Papa Sawyer.
Oh my goodness.
So Dad goes and gets her, and he, you know, we have a king bed, and so he sleeps on one end and I sleep on the other, and she sleeps in the middle, and we don't have covers. She doesn't like to be covered, not even with a sheet, so we don't. And it's so hot, you know, it's like you don't need that right now. But so anyway, so she sleeps with us from, you know, 2 to 8. So, but she still, you know, wakes up to come over. So yeah, but that's fine. You know, I snuggle her all night long. And actually, sometimes I wake up at 2 and I'm like, what's she doing? I'm like, come on, girl, wake up. Like, I'm ready to snuggle you all night long. Like, and I miss her. I miss snuggling her. And, you know, even though my mom has her tonight, like these nights where I don't have her is kind of like a panicky night for me. I sleep awful instead of like, sleep, rest, and like get a good night's sleep. To me, it's awful. I worry about her, even though my mom created this nursery and a bed next to her bed, and which is crazy because when she sleeps at my mom's house, she sleeps in her crib all night long and does not wake up a single time. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And I was like, I don't know, but maybe she likes it better at Grandma's house. So,
I think it's again going to the routine thing. I think it's her routine, and she knows she's home, and
so.
she can go and snuggle with you guys. And listen, I'm not here to judge anybody, right? You do what it works best for you. So yeah, if sleep, what is it called? Co-sleeping?
Co-sleeping, yeah.
If co-sleeping works for you guys, sure, do it, and
it's funny, like, so before I had her, my boss would be like, oh, we're still co-sleeping, and I'd be like, I would never do that with my kid. And then like you have her and you're like, oh, but I sleep sitting. And you just, everything you say you would never do, I find that I'm doing. And so it's actually taught me, don't judge people. Like, everybody does what is comfortable for them, especially in motherhood. Yeah. And I used to be part of this mommy group, and it was just moms bashing other moms. And I thought, that's so awful. And so one night I finally got her to go into her bed, and it was winter, and her room is kind of cold in the winter time. So I put like a thin, like a receiving blanket over her legs. And some mom just came at me. I was like, I can't believe you would put a blanket on her. What kind of mom are you? And I was like, this is not a good group for me. Like, I'm trying my best. I'm doing what I think is best for my child. Like, who are you to come judge me? And so,
that was
so anyways. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, you see a mom posting a picture of her baby sleeping in the car seat, and of course someone's got to post something, why would his head is too tilted to the side or something. It's like, oh God, no,
dude,
nope, can't do it.
Yeah. Don't you have anything else to do with your life?
Yeah.
Don't you have
like,
a kid?
What makes you a perfect mom? Like, we all mess up, and it's all by trial and error, and
of course,
we're all just trying our best. And
totally.
So it's definitely taught me, don't judge, and don't just do what your child by heart, and that is your baby, and so what's best for him or her. And
for your family, like, you have to make sure that your husband is on the same page, and you guys just take it from there, but like judging people just to seeing pictures, or like, just because you said, oh, I put a blanket on top of my daughter's legs. It's like, why are you judging me? My kid always slept with a blanket on top, always, until today. He has a sheet on top of his legs because he gets so hot. He runs hot, but his room is hot too, because at nighttime especially, it's just hot. And this house is hot. Like, it's just, it's complete. Like, it's hard because we have carpet, we have high ceilings, and our house faces where the sun hits the most in the afternoon. So
same here.
Stays there. Yeah. So he runs hot. But what I put on him is I put a t-shirt, and he uses his underwear. That's all he sleeps with. And then I put just a sheet on top of him just to make sure he's not cold. Yeah. But I still, like, in the morning, he wakes up and his legs are freezing. So I'm sure at nighttime, he takes it off and fine. But he always slept with something on top of him. And the thing is, I don't care if people judge me. I don't care if whatever people say, because again, like you said, ultimately we know them by heart. We know our kids, and that's what it matters. And if we make mistakes, we'll learn from them.
Yeah.
And I don't need anybody external from my life telling me what to do or what's best for
Right.
my kid, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a good thing that you got out of that group.
Yeah. I mean, especially someone who I don't know, who doesn't know me or my child, like who are you to judge and be so nasty? Like, get out of here. So,
Yeah, that was
um,
harsh. Yeah.
I left that group right away.
That's nice. That's
But
good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm very stoic. I don't know if you know about stoicism, but I'm very stoic. I'm very like peace and love. Please don't put me into any of that, group shit. Like I don't take sides. I'm not political. I don't like anything like that. So I don't judge people. I just say what I it works for me.
yeah,
And what I know from my experience from working with kids and being around kids pretty much my whole life. And
yeah,
I just tell people, okay, you know, this might work for you, but here's some other things that I did or I tried or I know that works as well. If you want
yeah,
to try it, go ahead. If you don't, it's up to you. Like
yeah,
I have a niece right now. I mean, they're all in Portugal, but my sister-in-law, she has a daughter, and my sister-in-law is a young woman. She's 25 years old. And the other day she was asking me, like, I don't know, she doesn't sleep and this and that, and what should I do? And I told her, listen, again, going back to the structure and the routine of the kids, I said, she's still too young. She's almost 8 months old. So I said, she's still too young to only have one nap. So go
yeah,
back to having two naps. And, even if she only sleeps for 30 minutes, that's better than nothing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, start your routine at nighttime a little bit earlier.
yeah,
I kind of gave her some advice, but I said at the end, I said, if you don't want to take this advice, I totally get it. Just tell her, Lily, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I don't need to listen to you, and I would rather have that from you saying, hey, I don't want to listen to you. Shut up. I don't care. Rather than you taking this advice and don't say anything and don't even follow, you
right,
know?
yeah,
But she was like, no, this is great. I'm going to try it. And she tried. And apparently the kids started sleeping better. So,
ah,
yeah. So, I mean, sometimes we have to take a deep breath and, go back to a little bit for like a couple of steps back and be like, okay, this worked before. Why is it not working right now? So
yeah,
let me maybe go back a little bit and start a new routine or start going back to the old routine, right?
yeah,
And apparently she's doing much better, which is I'm super glad. But again, I've never met my niece, just so you know, because she
yeah,
was born and we were planning to go and we never
yeah,
we never went. And so I know her from pictures and videos and video chats, but it's
yeah,
not the same.
right,
But yeah, I mean, again, like people that you don't know, you have no connection with, telling you what to do, that's bunkers. That's
yeah,
just that's not good. That's not good.
yeah. Well, especially if I didn't ask you for your opinion. I don't recall saying, what do you guys think? It's like I was like, oh, fine, she's finally in her bed, and you just bash me. But so yeah, but sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, like you were saying, you give advice, then you take it or leave it. And when I was listening to your podcast this week, you gave the advice on potty training, which I loved. And it's nice to hear other moms that are going through the same thing tell other moms what worked for their kid, because I'm struggling with potty training. And so your advice, what you did with your son, was great. I'm a little nervous to try it, but I'm going to try it because she just fights me on the potty.
Yeah, I mean, try it, and it's been working for my son, for my other friends as well, and for the kids at the school that I worked with as well. We only had him on a diaper for nap time,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the day, no diaper whatsoever. And obviously at home we would tell the parents, like, just
Yeah.
put a diaper for nighttime, obviously. But I'm surprised that it worked so well for my son, because boys have a harder time going to potty rather than
Yes.
girls. And
Yes.
he took it as a champ. And I was like, even my husband, he was like, I cannot believe it. He has not had an accident in 2 weeks. I was like, yeah,
That's so crazy.
me being consistent for 2 or 3 days, every 5 minutes, do you have to go potty? Let me know if you have to go potty. Do you have to go potty? Let me know if you have to go potty. But
Yeah.
it's important that you word it that way, because if
Yeah.
you obligate them to go in the potty, then it's an obligation, right?
Yeah.
So, because I said, like, let me know, then he started saying, like, pee, 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 and then we would go and he will do it. And I will make a party out of it, right? Like I said on the
Right.
podcast. I
Yeah.
was like jumping and yelling, yay, you got this, good job. I'm sure my neighbors thought I was crazy, but I don't care. And so he's completely potty trained, and he was before he turned 2. So it worked for me, and it's been working for all the other kids that I worked with. So try and see if it works for you. Hopefully.
I did start, I did it yesterday because we were home, and I was like, let's go and let's train in the backyard because if you pee in the backyard.
Right.
And she just was playing, and then she went on the rug runner that we have outside, and she's like, pee pee, and she just peed right on the rug like a dog. I was like, what are you doing? I'm thinking, oh God. I was like, okay, we made a potty. Okay. We need to go in the toilet. And she's like, nope, diaper. I was like, okay, you know the difference.
She knows. Yeah. And
she does.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes the kids know and they ask for it,
Yeah. So I got like the nighttime before we go to the bath down. She knows, like, we take off our clothes, I run the bath, and then she sits on her toilet, and then she'll just watch me and smile, and she'll go, okay. And she'll like high five. And I was like, okay, did you pee? Yeah, high five. All right. So she gets a star on her board, but then it's like, Eileen, let's go pee pee. No, diaper. And she's like, mm. So
yeah. So what I did as well was I hid the diapers. I put the diapers away, and I said, I don't have any more diapers. You have to go potty. Yeah. So that also helps, because she won't see where the diapers are, because they're very smart and they know where things are, right? So even if you tell her, like, I don't have diapers, she goes, there, like, they're right here.
Yes. Right.
So try to hide them, and tell her, like, when she's sleeping, like, before you go to bed, just hide them and be like, oh, I don't have any more diapers, all done, you have to go to the potty. And if she pees on herself, be like, oh, that's not good, let's go, but like, we cannot be too upset, because again, they feel it. And but, I mean, it's a process. Some kids take it easy, some kids take it really, really hard, but you'll get there. I'm sure she'll be fine.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to tell her, like, do you need to go, I do ask her a lot, do you need to go pee pee? And she'll be like, no, diaper. God. Okay. So I just don't want her to hate going, to the potty. So I'm trying to work with her, but man, when she puts her mind to something, that's it. So my mom's like, she reminds me of you. I'm like, oh God. My dad's like, yeah, carbon copy. Okay. Well, it's gonna be a process.
She's yours, so
yeah.
She had to get it from someone,
Yeah,
but try the trick of, like, if you have to go potty, let me know, try that.
Yeah.
Try that instead of, like, let's go, we have to go now, because it breaks because when they're playing, it's like a focus thing. So if you tell them, let's go right now, it breaks their point and they're not ready for it. So let's just be like, if you have to go potty, let me know if you have to go potty, tell mommy, and then she'll eventually start doing it. I'm sure she will. And let me know how that goes, because I want to know, and I know that the podcast is actually helping people already.
I love the advice and hearing other moms' stories, and it's like, oh, okay, we're not all perfect, have to go and take 5 seconds to like regroup, and we're just not all crazy. So
No,
it's
no, we're all
part of
go
the
through the
process.
same. Yeah, we're all go through the same thing, and one more than the others, but we're all in this together. And I remember before I had
Yeah.
kids, I used to be like, oh my God, why is this kid crying in the middle of Disneyland? Like, dude, they're at Disneyland. Come on. And now
Yeah.
I see people that have kids differently. I see like maybe the
Right.
mom is struggling, maybe the mom is stressed out, maybe the dad is stressed out, maybe they just had a fight in the car, and like you
Yeah. Who
see,
knows?
right? You see stuff so differently when you have your own. And even though I had experience with kids before, right? But it's
Yeah.
not the same. Like when you have your own, it's just like everything changes. Like you understand
Yeah.
so much more, right?
Right. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes when you're even at the grocery store and you hear a kid crying, you're like, my goodness. You're like, Adeline does that, or before this pandemic, and it's like she just needs 5 minutes to like chill out, and then we can keep on going with our grocery shopping. But there's no point being like, stop crying, because it just gets louder and louder and louder. And so
Yes.
it's just like, I'm just going to ignore you for 5 minutes, and we're going to stand here, and when you're done, we're going to keep on moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And now what I tell my son as well, like when he is not a crier, but he started whining a lot. Like he's being like, I'm like, listen, I don't like that. Once you're done, you can talk to me, because mommy cannot understand whiny.
right.
You can talk, use your words. And then I'm like, what do you want? And then he goes, this. And I was like, okay, see, you can use your words. See, that wasn't hard.
Right.
So it's a hard thing sometimes to deal with them, but it's all right. I mean, we got this. Anyways, I don't want to keep you for too long, but I do have a last question for you.
Yeah.
This is kind of one of the questions that I ask everybody, and it's called the 3 life lessons. So what are the 3 life
Okay.
lessons that you want to pass on to your kid?
Oh boy. How do you sum it up in 3? But I think the most important one, sorry, I'm trying to get the charger in here.
No, you're fine.
But anyways, I think the most important one to me is know that family is everything, and family comes first. We're always there for you, and we're going to have your back, not your friend, because your friends come and go. But we know you, and we put you first, and so you should put us, or at least me and dad first in your life. So I think, so the first one, so family is the most important thing. 2, don't be a sissy in life. If you've got something to say it. Don't be like scared you're going to hurt other people's feelings. I don't know. I guess because I used to be like that, where it's like, I don't say anything. Now I'm like, no, you know what? No. And
Yes.
I'm going to tell you what I think. And if you like it, great. And if we're still friends, great. But if you don't like it, well, then too bad. So just don't be a sissy. And I guess
totally
the last.
agree with you on the second one. I was like that as well. No, seriously, we have so much in common. I don't know. It's crazy. But I used to be like that. So I used to even have a friend that she would blame me for everything that happened, even in the entire world. Like, oh, there's a bomb in, I don't know, I'm just making shit out here, but like,
Yeah.
there's a bomb in Iraq. You were the one that did it. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess, you know what I mean? Like to that
Yeah.
not literally, but to that point. And so I was like, I got to the point when I was a teenager, I'm like, no, you know what? F you, F you, F you, and F you. I'm not going to
Yeah.
take this shit anymore. You know,
Exactly.
I am going to
Exactly.
say whatever I have to say, either you like it or not. And I just started and I haven't stopped yet, and I'm never going to stop. I'm sorry, but this is me. This is who I am. I love doing I love who I am, and I love the way I became, so I'm not going to stop it. And if you want to become my friend and be my friend, great. If not, go on with your life.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's 2. And 3, I guess 3 is, if you put your mind to something, take it all the way, because you don't know, it's scary, but great things can happen. And, we live in a great country, and the possibilities are endless. You could be anything you put your mind to. And, my dad always taught us, if you want to be a trash picker, be the best trash picker person out there. And just always be the best at your job, no matter what it is. You want to walk dogs, be the best dog walker. You want to do anything, just put your whole heart into it. And so I think maybe those are the 3 things.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on those. Actually, it's the best. I think so far I agree with your 3 lessons the most, because they're very, very important. When I did the podcast yesterday, she also mentioned 2 other things, which is believe in yourself and believe and be happy, and that's important too. But the thing is, like, if you want to do something in your life, to just be happy and just do it all the way. You want to become, like you said, a trash picker, do it, go for it. We need those kind of people. It's not diminishing anybody. We need them. But be the best of it. Just do your best. Sing along while picking up the trash.
Right.
I've seen people doing that in my country. They love it. That's how they get paid. That's how they get bread in the table. So let's have fun with it.
Yeah.
And if you want to become a singer, go all the way, become a singer. This world gives you endless possibilities. So pick them up and do what you got to do with them.
Yeah, I agree.
think that's really good. Well, this was a great conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, thanks for being here. And it came to find out that we have a lot in common, that we thought, and we just
and we live right down the street from each other.
Yeah, and we just basically met. So this is great, and I'm really, really happy and glad that you're doing your dog bone business, and that we got to meet each other, and I think this is going to be great, and maybe a friendship will start from here, and hopefully this will get play together and stuff like that. And maybe I'll have you in the show again. What do you think?
Okay, I love to. Yes, absolutely.
Let's take it from there. So, yeah, Julia, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me and to be on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Everything. Of course, no problem. Have a good night. Thank you.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.